in the legacy markets this morning, so in the currencies, there's a pretty strong sell-off going on against the dollar, and stock indexes are really, really heavy at the open this morning. So a bit of a sell-off. Will this translate into a push lower in Bitcoin and new lows? It's not clear to me yet. You know, when we look at the daily candles, although we had a very strong down day yesterday, we didn't make new lows. We were retesting the lows. And as we've discussed before, you know, we've got some bullish divergence going on. It's hard to see here on the CCI, but if I put on an RSI, you can see the bullish divergence that I mean. This is where the market is making lower lows and the price on the oscillator is making higher lows. So potentially this says that, you know, we're vulnerable to a snapback rally. It's not a good place for new shorts, that's certain. If you're already short, then that's fine. Stay short, good luck in Bitcoin. But when you start to see divergence like this, it really does say that the risks are increasing for new shorts. And when we look at how stretched out we are on our daily moving averages, you know, one of the best indicators for oversold for me is how far are we from the 200 moving average to compared to, you know, the furthest we've been. And this was the best indicator when we made the big high at 2000. So, you know, we are getting pretty stretched out. I don't think we're at extreme levels yet, but this bullish divergence does warn against new shorts, or, you know, and unless you keep them really tight, you know, it's just warning of a snapback. So what would tell us that this, how far would we rally in order for us to tell us that this was, you know, more than we're going to bounce here? I'm going to say that if we draw our breakdown from this flag, our bear flag on the hourly, that's going to be the first indicator. So if we get back above this flag line and the hourly 50 moving average, that would do it. But if we look at daily candles, remember the 50% rule. So the 50% of this big red down candle, which is very often kind of a resistance. I think if we close more than that, then we're still in sideways consolidation. So let's mark where that 50% is. And if we look at this, I can't see it on the right. Here we go. 33.52. I'm looking at BitMEX prices. We'll look at some other prices in a minute. So I think back above 33.52 and certainly our close above 33.52, that would be our, there I've marked it, that will be our bullish reversal. So here on an hourly, that actually then adds some weight to the price that we're looking at and the hourly 50 moving average. So so far, bear flag, I'm looking for a break lower, and below, you know, these 3200s, we're still looking for 3000 and 29, somewhere in the 2900s. There is some minor support around 3100, so we likely won't go in a straight line, but that's what I'm looking for. It's bearish, but if we hold the lows, watch for a bounce. And if the bounce goes above 33.52, we're going to see some sideways consolidation and potentially, you know, a big ABC pattern and more sideways trading in Bitcoin. So that's where we are with Bitcoin. I'm just going to look at one other. We'll just check our prices around. So let's look at Bitfinex today. See, because sometimes their prices vary a bit. So we can see we've got the same bear flag pattern. We've broken down our flag here like this. So if we get back above this line in the hourly 50, that would be a sign that this actually we're in a bigger consolidation. We should connect the lows and highs, look for a consolidation in this range. Okay, and if we go back to the daily and a regular candle here, if we rally more than 50% of this big most recent down, red candle 34.45 at Bitfinex. So those are the kind of parameters. Let's go back, 34.45. There we go. So that's what we're looking for. As long as we stay under that, then we're likely to head lower and break the lows in Bitcoin. But it's not clear yet. It's certainly not falling the way the other legacy markets are yet. So let's see. Same thing we've got in Ethereum. So ETH US dollar, I'm looking at Coinbase. We'll chuck some regular candles on. Haven't made new lows in this one. In fact, you know, we're kind of lurking around these lows. If we do continue lower, then I'm looking for 76 next and potentially 70 in ETH US dollar. If we go down to our hourly, we have broken the flag. We are continuing to roll lower, but if we find some support in this one as well, or we make a double bottom, or we can't break the lows, then we've got a range trade over the weekend. And how it's very common to see something like this on a Friday. We'll see a sell-off, we'll come down here into the lows, and then we'll spend the weekend, you know, just squeezing higher before we do it all again next week. So yeah, in fact, if we look at, I know we've got RSI bullish divergence. Let's take a look and see if we've got this in we may be starting to see bullish divergence. Remember, this is based on a close price. So if we take RSIs based on closing prices, so when you draw your trend lines, you use the closing price of the candles, not the wicks. So in ETH here, we can take the closes and draw it like this. Okay, and then we take the, in fact, we should go from these lows here, because this is where we're looking at on the RSI. Okay, and then we can see here on the RSI that we've got bullish divergence going on here in ETH as well. So it warns against new longs, swing longs, keep them very tight, and it says that potentially a bounce is coming soon. So it doesn't mean that this is the low already in. You know, we can see divergence for a while and it can work itself out, but it does warn against new shorts at this point. So ETH, and unfortunately pretty much everything is looking really heavy, very similar. So let's look at Ripple dollar. Here's our breakdown. We're going sideways at this level, holding under the hourly moving average, threatening to go lower still in Ripple, but again, we are holding this previous support level from way back and haven't made new lows yet. So potentially, you know, we haven't really broken down yet. Until we do, we could see another weekend of sideways where we suck everybody in and then, you know, spit them out again. If we look at Litecoin, same thing. This flag has broken down, but we're right back at the retest levels in Litecoin as well, in an upswing. Bitcoin Cash SV is holding this 618 support that we were looking at for now. So we could even see a rally in this one. That would be quite something. Let's measure the legs in Bitcoin Cash SV, because this is one of those patterns where this second swing is 61.8 of the first swing. If we hold on here, so for maybe the first signs, but it's not quite a bottom yet. And it's not quite at the level we want it to be at yet. Isn't this interesting how Bitcoin Cash, ABC, and Bitcoin Cash SV are inverted and move in opposite directions? Quite interesting to me. It's like the same money sloshing around in a bathtub. So Ripple.